The Rage of Forgotten Sons. So, this is a simple video, and I want to start making my videos shorter just to illustrate very small points so you can focus on one thing at a time. So, first off, I want to extend a bit of empathy for the average man, saying these things. One, I understand the anger that you have, even for the average man, and that includes the average incel. I understand that you can't get women and you're frustrated about that. I understand that you're at a loss. You don't really understand how to navigate the world as it currently is. And the world currently is broken, right? I'm not here to laugh at you. I think where we're at right now is pretty much the lowest of the low. Well, even though it's going to get worse, right? We're projected to have half of women single by 2030. I think 60% of men are single and lonely. So probably by 2030, we'll probably be at 70, 80% of men. That's a guess. I'm not just running an estimate. So the Rage of Forgotten Sons comes from the Red Pill Rage, which originated in the MGTOW movement, or just the MGTOW source of things, philosophy. Came out of the early manosphere. I don't know exactly who coined it. I think it may have come from Sandman. So there's a lot of guys who are angry, and they're angry at the system. They're angry at the 5, 6+ decades of programming that women have succumbed to via feminism, making them believe that being masculine is the key to success. Through whatever means this was done, this is kind of create a vacuum. And now we have a lot of angry, resentful men in the world. And the solution to this is not really all that simple. It's not simple, really. I'm hoping you can hear me. So the solution isn't simple, but one thing I would say is anger is good. You can use the rage, you can use the resentment, and I think it's justified. I think the anger you have towards women is justified. The anger you have towards the system is justified. You're angry, you feel hurt that they willingly went along with this long thing, this very long program. You're angry about that, and I understand it. But here's the thing: they don't really care. They just go along with whatever happens. They're like sheep, right? Um, so it doesn't really matter to them in the grand scale of things. And whenever it's unveiled, if it is ever unveiled, because as a guy, I kind of have this feeling that maybe they'll know the truth. Maybe it'll come out and they'll finally understand. It'll never happen because I've noticed the nature of bad things, the nature of power. People who are under control of a hidden power, they never really ever figure it out. It just switches and another power takes hold. It's kind of sad, but that's just kind of how it is. So a lot of guys are watching MGTOW red pill videos and they're just sitting and stewing. And I understand that it feels good to sit and see other men and connect with them about the pain and anger you feel and stuff. But try try leaving those spaces for a time to do something you like, and just see how it feels. Try to go out and work out. Try to go out for a jog. Try to try to just try to do something fun you like. Hatred, resentment is. I understand, however justified any of those emotions are within you, uh, it will eventually sour you. It'll destroy your soul. And if it ever gets to the point where it destroys your soul, then you're not going to be able to recover from that. I think you're justified in your anger, but I think you need to figure out a way to take that anger and make yourself stronger. It's the least you can do, right? For a lot of guys, they were rejected. They were maybe the chick you were with, the woman you were with, she monkey branched and went on to the new guy and just did it very haphazardly, right? So take all of that anger, all of that frustration, and use it as a path for strength so that you can finally actualize. I was watching a movie, a show. So there's a live action Shazam, and I noticed the live action Shazam is like terrible compared to the animated Shazam, the DC animated. In the live action, he's like this joking guy who never takes life serious, and we don't really feel power from him. Um, but in the cartoon, the live action, or in the animated DC, he's very powerful. He he's more serious, and you could actually see that you could see his what actually made him worthy. You can see that he wants to protect people, the kindred soul within him. Um, yeah, I think a lot of these superhero movies is kind of the idealism that is within men. In fact, I'm starting to think superhero movies in general are just men's idealism projected onto a character. Men kind of have this thing where we want to be superheroes. Um, but I think the modern world doesn't want to allow us to be superheroes. It wants us to kind of fall at the knee to the woman. Um, However that looks, right? Some people would say I'm weird for what I'm saying, but sometimes I think I was born in the wrong times because I can see where this zeitgeist is going. I can see in this zeitgeist they want men to kneel to women, and people can't see it yet because it's not as obvious. But in the future, it'll become so obvious that um, some will become afraid, and others will just, I don't know, they'll just go along with it. I mean, I guess you have the sheep, but then you have the ones who aren't sheep, and then you'll have what you have. But if I'm not saying anything, I'm trying to say this in general. Don't hold on to don't hold on to the hatred. Feel it. It's okay to feel it. One thing I'll say that's different than what everyone else is saying is I actually think feeling hatred and feeling resentment and feeling anger and sadness, I think that's okay. There's nothing wrong with it. If you hate women, fine. Honestly, here's the truth. It's extremely easy to hate women. It's extremely easy to hate bad people. It's extremely easy to hate rich, arrogant scum. It's extremely easy to hate bad bosses, right? It's easy to hate people that get things, that get their way, that don't have to be accountable, held accountable to anyone. And that's just any person that would be that kind of person. It's easy to hate such a person. And we always talk about in the red pill manosphere space that one of women's greatest fallings is that they don't really hold themselves accountable. That being said, I don't want to focus on women necessarily. Your anger and your hatred comes from a person who's not being held accountable, whether that's women, whether that's someone closest to you in your life, whether it's a boss. You're angry that a person is getting away with things and it's seeming that they don't get the recompense for that action. I understand that because I've had that same thing. I think a lot of people have that. It's a righteous anger, right? But then when it becomes resentment and hatred, it starts to eat away at you. That's what I'm thinking to myself. Find a way to purge those emotions so that they don't cause harm to your soul and who you are deep down. That's all I'm trying to say. And it could be as simple as talking it out. I do this thing where I like freestyle and I'll rap over a beat or something like that just to get the anger out. If you got to go to a gym and box or something like that, you can, I don't know, you can do improv, you can do new comedy. Comedians probably use that as an outlet. I think Chris Rock probably used that as an outlet for the things he was going through. He had like a bad divorce. It seems like everybody's going through a bad divorce. Um, Listen, your anger is justified. Um, Even honestly, I think your hatred is justified too. But you can try different things. All I'm saying is try different stuff. Just try stuff out and see if you can use that as an outlet, something to kind of cleanse whatever it is in your soul that's causing you pain. And sometimes you just have things that you haven't forgiven yourself for as well. Take some time to yourself away from your computer, if you have a second. Um, Try to figure out what that is, and honestly, just sit there and be with it and deal with it. I'm actually gonna try these things myself. That's why I'm bringing it up. The world will get better not when we keep bringing up issues about women and stuff like that. That's part of it, right? Part of it is recognizing the problem. Then we address it, but then healing ourselves on both ends, but in particular for the men's side, healing ourselves is going to be important. But then having boundaries so that those things can't happen again. Having the knowledge will keep us from falling into the same traps. I'm still a little bit broken and messed up from my dealings with the women I've loved, the woman I love. Right, I'm still a bit messed up from that stuff. I'm not gonna lie. And she was okay a week after leaving, but I guess this is yeah. That's all I got. Find a way to move through the anger, the hatred, the pain. If you want, use it as a source of strength to become what you know you can be. You know you can become strong. So uh, maybe think about this. Maybe your ex will see your current picture, or just someone that doesn't like you right, and they're thinking to themselves, "Wow, he got strong. He got wow, he does this. He does this thing. Oh, is he's a painter? Wow, he's so good." Something like that, right? I did a chapter on this called Nidavellir, where I compared men's anger to a star, and the star is used to forge weapons, very powerful weapons. The Rage of Forgotten Sins.